The people that's running this said they wanted you all gone. So if you're either going to go or these guys right here is going to take you.
Well, thank you, Drag Daddy. What's up, guys, and welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Today we're in Louisville, Kentucky at the Louisville Pride Fest. We're going to ask people about the case of Jeff Younger. It's a 10-year-old son now, but he was transitioned at just 3 years old. The wife took his kid and moved to California so they can do all of the legal transitioning there. So we're going to ask these people, do you think that's okay or not? So let's get right into it. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Join me on Locals for just $8 a month. You can get a free month using the promo code in the description. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so I'm here today to talk about the case of Jeff Younger, in which his 3-year-old son was taken by the wife to transition at 3 years old. They moved to California, and now at 10 years old, he's a legal woman. What do you guys make of this situation? He's now trying to get his son back.
I don't know what to say about that. I have no opinion about that.
Do you guys support gender transitions at 3 years old?
I prefer not to answer these questions, thank you. I think we're all good, actually.
We're all good.
Well, it's a really simple. Do you support gender transitions?
I appreciate you trying, but we're not interested in this conversation.
The difference at 3 years old. At 3 years old, though, it's just. I know you're thinking. At 3 years old.
I can't burp in my microphone loud enough. It's the thing.
Do you think that that's okay?
Yeah.
You do, and why?
Let people be people, guys.
So she has taken. Can I not finish the question? Do you think that Jeff Younger, as a father, has the right to say, no, you don't need to be transitioning my son?
Not really.
So you support the move to California. She left him, and they're now just the two of them in California. Now he's a legal female at 10 years old.
At 10?
But it started at 3.
Well, yeah.
So you think that's okay?
Yes.
Okay. So you're just a sick individual.
No, I'm actually a human rights advocate.
But you support transitioning kids at 3 years old.
If the kid identifies that way, then yes.
Hey, what are you dressed up as today?
Rainbow Jesus.
Rainbow Jesus. And why would you dress up as Rainbow Jesus?
Well, pardon me real quick.
You're fine.
Well, I'm with Metropolitan Community Church.
Okay.
We're the original queer church.
Okay.
And as you know, there's a lot of hate that comes from mainstream Christianity. And so that reconciliation with faith and the queer community, that's what we're all about. And I know for me, as a small child growing up in the church, if I had seen Rainbow Jesus, it would have made me feel a lot better.
So should they also get tattoos, be able to drink beer?
Those are other regulated things, and absolutely not. No, but
so they should just be able to change their life for the rest of their life at 3 years old.
Leave them.
Well, at that age, I said that I identified as a WWE wrestler. I'm not. I identify as an astronaut now.
And you know that's not.
How?
It is absolutely not.
We change our minds all the time.
No, that is not the same thing, and you know it's not.
Well, can you prove to me it's not the same thing?
No, it's not.
Can you prove to me it's not the same thing?
Absolutely. One is your inherent identity. One is you just wanting to be something else.
What do you mean? So he started as a man and transitioned to a female.
Yes, that is
permanently changing his life. Yeah, at 3 years old.
If you can identify that way as a 3-year-old, then why not?
So should I be able to get a tattoo?
No, because that is
that's much smaller than a life-changing decision of a gender.
You're making two different arguments here.
I don't see it. One's worse, and it's the gender that you agree.
You're making two different arguments here.
But one is worse. I would much rather a kid get a tattoo than permanently change their gender at 3 years old.
What do you see is wrong with that?
Because they change their minds all the time. The brain doesn't fully develop until 25.
Okay. But what if, say, at 10 years old, this child decides, you know what, this has been the way it is,
Their brain's still not fully developed. And how would you justify the LGBTQ in Christianity? What says that Christianity is, or excuse me, okay?
That's the thing.
That's the thing, because there's nothing.
How many reasons do you need?
Start wherever you want.
Well, God is love.
God is love. God is also a judger, though.
More than anything, God is love.
Yeah, it's said over 500 times, if you repent, become born again.
Yeah. I think that transcends over everything.
It does, and including though.
I know, baby.
I mean, I'm just using the Bible here. As Christians, you're a Christian, I'm Christian. I think it's important we talk biblically. And I don't see anything that justifies the LGBTQ in the church.
I think it depends on what you're reading.
The Bible.
Yeah, yes.
Depends on how the child feels. It doesn't matter about the adults. It's what the child wants.
According to reports, he's okay with it. But yet again, it was at 3 years old. So do you support that transition at a young age?
Whatever the child wants to do is what he wants to do.
Could they also get like tattoos, alcohol, marijuana?
Well, you know.
Whatever the child wants to do, am I right?
It's of course whatever the child wants to do. I mean, just like in Mexico. I have quite a few friends from Mexico who came from Mexico. They said as long as you can see over the bar, you can drink, and they can be however they want to be.
So you support that?
It's however that person feels. It's
the 3-year-old.
It's
however they feel. Okay. You can now drink alcohol, gamble, go to the army at 3 years old, right?
You can do anything you want to do.
I think it depends on. Excuse me. I think it depends on what you're reading, which is the Bible. But then also what perspective you're coming through. Excuse me. Sorry, she just.
It's okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got the Old Testament, that's a lot more judgmental. Then you got the New Testament where love is used over 500 times.
Yeah.
But it's also, you have verses like 1 Corinthians 6:9 that's in the New Testament talking about and how you should repent of that and become born again. So is there anything that like counteracts that?
Yes. Yes. And.
So what is it though?
I know you're wanting to interview on the spot. And that's great. I hear you. I do need to get going.
Great. What's your name?
My name's Kate. I'm not shaking your hand.
Why?
Because I hear you're a.
It's not very loving and accepting of you guys, is it?
Neither are you.
From loving. Here. How?
We have heard some rumors around about the guy in the spacesuit.
Spacesuit, that's me. I'm an astronaut. What
Do we want to be nice or?
That's what your community says you do, so please.
No, not nice.
Love and acceptance, yeah. So please be loving. Thank you. I just have a couple of questions. So are you...
I'm not the right person to be asking those questions.
Who can I ask?
Our co-pastor should be here sometime between now and probably 6 o'clock.
Okay, well, I'm not necessarily wanting what the church is, but let's just talk about your basic beliefs, if that's okay. So are you accepting of all?
Yes.
Okay. And go a little bit further in what that means, if you don't mind.
New Testament says Jesus is love. That's love everybody.
And do you think that love and acceptance are the same thing?
Now, some people will probably say no. My personal belief, yes.
Okay. And why?
No matter how somebody represents themselves, we accept them, and go further from that. That's love.
I am a person who genuinely believes that coming to an event for celebrating a community in order to tell people they're wrong and tear them down is cruel.
I'm just asking questions.
Like what? Yeah.
So would you like to be asked a question?
Go for it.
Great. So I'm talking about the case of Jeff Younger, in which the 3-year-old son was medically transitioned. Now at 10 years old, it's a legal woman.
Where was this?
So it started in Texas, and now it's moved to California.
And what was the name?
Jeff Younger, that's the guy, that's the father. The son is named James Younger.
In Texas.
Moved to California. That's where the wife is.
Never heard of a case of transitioning a 3-year-old. Snopes that. Look on Snopes.
James Younger. That's the son's name.
What is the name they go by now?
I couldn't tell you because it's irrelevant. It's a man. So, in the Bible, or do you believe the Bible and follow what it says?
Yes.
Okay. So in the Bible, let's just take 1 Corinthians 6:9, where it talks about sexual immorality. It talks about lust. It talks about idolatry. It talks about and it condemns it. It says that it's wrong. Wait, if you don't mind, wait 1 second. So if you're going to love them, true love is showing them, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Turn to God. Deny yourself, pick up the cross, and follow God.
You've taken that verse out of context. If you read before and after, it's about love.
This is a great time to tell you guys to subscribe to my locals for just $8 a month, early, unedited, exclusive content. I'll see you guys on there.
Ooh, also, my infant was filmed earlier, and I did not give consent for that. So
I can blur it out.
No, we don't want the child on camera at all.
Well, you can't do anything about that because I'm going to blur the face.
There's identifying information in the clothing.
I'm going to blur the face.
And the clothes?
I can make a square, a black square. You guys love black squares, so I'll just do a black square.
Okay.
We love black squares.
Apparently.
That's new.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Okay.
You guys don't remember the BLM black squares?
That wasn't us.
I stand.
No, that wasn't us.
We weren't black squares.
That was your community. You guys
Black
stood.
squares don't do anything.
The black squares were not.
I know.
That was
We actually helped the community.
All right. So, you see James Younger, right?
I am seeing
Exactly what I told you. You say I take 1 Corinthians 6:9. That's out of context.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Romans 1:27 that also talks about
Out of context.
out of context? Leviticus 18:22.
All of them.
Okay. So all of the verses that talk about out of context. Okay. What are some other verses that are out of context? Or is it just those?
I'm not religious educated, so I can't speak to that.
It's just kind of awkward if you say only the homosexuality verses are the ones out of context.
Prostitution is also
wrong.
Also wrong.
Yeah.
And
There's many things wrong. It's not just, but included. And if we're gonna love one another, we should tell, hey, turn away from yourselves.
translating that correctly?
Of course. I read the Bible, so I.
Are you?
Yeah, so I read the Bible.
Greek? Are you reading in the Greek?
So modern translations, yes, they say it's.
Interpretation or translation?
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Time to go. What do you mean? This is a public.
Yeah, but you're instigating shit, bro.
You can't kick me out.
You already got a restraining order for McDonald's.
You can't kick me out.
Yes, we can. You're
No,
disturbing.
you can't. I'm on a public street right now. I'll get out of this booth, but I'm on a public street. All right, if you guys don't need anything else, I'm going to go to the next booth.
It's about a custody battle because mom is pissed that dad let kid transition.
There you go, but it's opposites. Dad's pissed over mom.
That never happened.
But that never happened,
If
right?
it happened, I'm sure it happened under the supervision of a doctor.
Okay, so if it happened under supervision of a doctor, do you think that's okay?
Consent of a parent.
Absolutely.
3 years old,
Yeah.
without the consent of the father.
Does the father have custody?
Yes.
And
Then
was involved.
the father should have
Yeah.
a say in it.
The parents.
so you
who are
disavow
involved
it.
in the child's situation.
The parent who has custody, legal custody.
Just for kicks and giggles, let's say he didn't have custody. Would you say that's okay?
For the child to transition?
Yep. At 3.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're just a sick individual.
You can get out of the whole area or the cops will escort you out.
Okay, so you don't know laws.
I don't know.
If I was at
Well, I'm
Kane's,
doing what I was asked. That's all I'm doing.
I know, but you're saying it hostile.
Because
I'm not
you've
being
done this last
hostile.
year, too.
We were having a loving conversation.
So what about all the people, whatever it is you're offending?
How am I offending anyone? I'm just asking questions.
Well, we had the people that run this stuff, whatever, come to us personally and tell us we had to get y'all out of here. So y'all need to
Well,
leave.
you can't though.
Yes,
so,
they can.
Well, then get the police here.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. I mean, if you want to stay with me, that's fine. I'm still gonna ask some questions. I'll get out of this booth though. Here, just get out of the booth. Yeah. So I can't be told to go because it's a public street. It doesn't matter if there's a permit or not. It's still a public street.
Going toward the end.
It's time to run. Hey, sir, it's time to run. I'm just kidding.
You can run when they get here. I don't care. It's my business. I'm just doing what I'm asked.
Yeah, you're just doing that, just like I'm just asking questions.
But you're asking inappropriate questions to people, whatever, that you know. Whatever.
How is my questions inappropriate?
Somebody's what it is.
How is my questions inappropriate when there's a bag of
whatever when they get to invoke people?
I haven't spoken with this gentleman, and I know nothing.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just couldn't possibly be less hostile. Hey, you mind if I ask you a couple quick questions?
Hey, don't do it, bro. He's being an asshole.
I'm not being that.
Go ahead. Ask me questions.
Okay, so I'm talking about the case of Jeff Younger, in which the 3-year-old son had to medically transition because of the mother, and now at 10 years old, they have moved to California. See, I don't know how it's
possible. I'm saying the people that run this asked you to leave.
Yeah,
so please leave.
I'm just telling you the laws, though. Like, I don't have to. Like, I was actually planning on. I'm trying to hit all the churches and talk to them.
Are you getting consent from every one of these people?
Of course. So you walked up to me, so you consented by doing that.
Yeah, because one of the people that's running this, take it out of my face.
I'm just asking questions.
You're in a bad position, bud. Quit.
Well,
y'all need to leave. I'm asking you to leave.
Hold up. Just calm down. The people that's running this said they wanted you all gone. So if you're either gonna go, or these guys right here is gonna take you. Well, it's that.
They can't. It's a public street. It's a public street.
What's going on?
Hey,
the people run the festival don't want them here filming when they want them gone, and that's what they say.
And
they say they don't have.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
The same guy.
They have the right to actually.
Okay, well, we're not knocking that part. But why
I'm
ask
just going by
inappropriate
what
questions
people
and
at the
round people up to
festival
fight?
said. They want them
That's
gone.
what you're gonna try to do. So he's shaking his head, yeah?
No, I'm listening to you guys.
All I can tell you was it was one of the festival people run the festival went up to my security right down there and complained about them and said they wanted them gone. I don't care personally. I'm just going by what the people that's running this.
During activity times, whatever it can be asked.
You know, they can be harassing people. Like if they can ask people questions, but if they walk up to someone and someone's like declines to,
then why don't they do it outside the gates?
They can walk off.
Why don't they just do it outside the gates?
Because I have the right to be here.
He knows his rights. That's why he's doing it.
I know.
Just don't harass anyone.
Don't put his hands on them like that.
They decline to.
Of course, I just walk away.
That'd be bad for his position.
Huh?
I said that'd be bad for his
Don't
position.
rile him up.
I'm not.
Don't threaten.
I had him.
He didn't threaten me. He didn't threaten me. He just asked me to leave, but I said that I have the right to be here.
Yeah, I ain't doing nothing. Aggressive to him. It's just how I talk, whatever. I don't know why. I apologize.
He's naturally angry.
No. We're not friends.
All right. Well, you guys have a good day. I'm going to keep asking questions.